So Dominique said some other things though, as it pertains to his era and this era. So they asked him about the dunk contest. They asked him about competing against Jordan, and he had this to say.
Oak and all them.
So you went 5 dunk contests, 1, 2. The home cooking, you should have won 3. The home cooking in '88 for Chicago when Mike won his. What were those dunk contests? Because that's back when the stars, the best players.
We wanted to know who the best was. I don't think guys want to know who the best is.
They're scared to know.
They scared to lose.
No, they're afraid to lose. They think it's gonna, interfere with your legacy, whatever. The fact that they still talking about Jordan and Michael dunk contest 35 years later. Crazy. Tells you it's the greatest dunk contest, right?
All right, so that's what he said initially. They asked him about the dunk contest, and he hey man, tell me about that. He said it was the best. Basically, what he's saying, it was the best of the best. Dominique, best dunker. Michael Jordan, best dunker, or one of the best dunkers. It was a lot of people, Larry Nance and Gerald Wilkins was okay, and there was a guy, I think the dude that did the Statue of Liberty. I think his name was like Stansberry or something like that. He was a nice dunker, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of nice dunkers, but definitely Dominique might have been the best for sure. In-game dunker for sure. I mean, we probably didn't know what we was going to see in the dunk contest, but in-game dunker is Dominique by far. Maybe Michael Jordan might be somewhere in there as well. I think Dominique might be an A+, Michael Jordan might be an A. Or maybe they both A+. I don't know. But as far as the dunk contest, it's the best, and not just the best dunkers. These are the best players. This is Michael Jordan, right? And what Michael Jordan stood to lose, just like when he shot in the three-point contest, he looked horrible. He was missing left and right on his threes, but he tried it out. He competed. What if he didn't fail? What if he succeeded and he won that three-point contest? Man, that would have been spectacular. But he went out there and tried it. He gave it the old college go, right? So for Dominique to look at Mike and say, we're going head to head and I'm going to beat you, and Mike to say, no, you're not, and they go head to head and give us that show like that, and the fact that they still talking about it now lets you know it's one of the best dunk contests ever, right? It was legendary with 2 legends. And what Dominique is saying about this era is he said these dudes don't want to find out who the best is. And you can take that beyond the dunk contest. If you can take the fact that I always say that when LeBron looked at his challenges when he was at Cleveland, and his main challenge was, I can't win in Cleveland and nobody is coming to Cleveland to team up with me to give me a legit squad. I mean, now he had legit squads. He got to the finals, right? He won 66 games in a season, but he lost to Orlando in the playoffs. Dwight Howard put him out. That was the year he was supposed to meet Kobe in the championship, but Dwight got there, right? So he's had teams, but he hasn't had a co-star that could take all the pressure off of him, or a co-star that you could share the pressure with. The pressure was all on him, right? But that was normal for most teams. So of course, you had teams like the Lakers who had Magic, Worthy, and Kareem. Even though Kareem was past his prime, Magic and Worthy was well in their prime. You had Bird with McHale, both well in their prime. So teams like that would have it. If you could even take Jordan and Pippen, but I think Pippen was a guy that got drafted and turned out to be very good. It wasn't like Pippen got drafted, went to his own squad, emerged as a superstar player, a perennial all-star, Hall of Fame type player, and then Michael Jordan said, I want to go play with Pippen. He didn't do that. He got Pippen as a rookie. The rookie wasn't all that spectacular. And after 2 or 3 years of putting in hard work, you got this all-star top 50 player, right? That's very respectable when you get something like that. That's why people don't talk about Magic, Worthy, and Kareem too much, or Bird and McHale too much, because these are guys that I didn't know how good McHale was going to be. I mean, of course, Kareem was great and Worthy was great, and then Magic was great. These guys was already great coming out of college. We already knew they was great, right? But I don't think you can say the same thing for McHale or Scottie Pippen. right? So it's different when your co-star is like that. But as far as what was normal back then, I think Dwight Howard didn't have a superstar co-star, and he was in the East. Gilbert Arenas, who the Cavs used to always beat in the East in the playoffs, Gilbert Arenas didn't have a superstar co-star. Jason Kidd didn't have a superstar co-star. Reggie Miller didn't have a superstar co-star. Allen Houston didn't have a like all these guys in the East. Allen Iverson, none of these guys had superstar co-stars, but they got to the finals. Now, when they got to the finals and played a team like the San Antonio Spurs or the Lakers, it was a little uneven because there was two superstars on that team. With San Antonio, you got Duncan and Robinson. On Lakers, you got Kobe and Shaq. So it was always a little unmatched East and West wise. But to get out of the East, you didn't need another superstar, right? But to beat the West, maybe you did. So I get why LeBron wanted to do that. But here's the thing. Once you do that, you're kind of, especially when you do it with someone you're supposed to be trying to beat. We never got to see head-to-head battles of LeBron with just a regular supporting cast versus Melo in the East and a regular supporting cast, or Wade in a regular supporting cast, or Bosh in a regular supporting cast. That's Melo, Bron, Wade, Bosh. That's four guys in the East that could have had their own team and built a supporting cast around it, and we could have seen who was going to be the best. But instead, LeBron joined with Wade and Bosh. Now we can't see if you better than Wade or Bosh. Like we can't. Like we need to see that. We got to see that, and that's what Wilkins is talking about with the dunk contest. These dudes don't want to compete and find out who the best is. They're joining each other. They're taking the easy way out. They're skipping the dunk contest. I don't want to do that because if I get in there and you beat me, it might mess with my legacy. Like that's crazy. But this is the other thing he said.
Adam Silver gave you the opportunity, said, Dominique, we need you to fix the dunk contest. What would you do?
I've been asked that question before. At first I said, why don't we throw more money at it?
I'll let you pick the contestants.
You know, I said, but they make too much money. That ain't going to work.
That ain't
gonna work. I said, if you can pick the contestants and sit down and say, hey, man, this would be great for the contest, great for the fans for that weekend. Would you be willing to get into it? I don't know a lot of guys who'd be willing to do it. So to answer your question, I really don't know.
Ain't no hope.
Because you got a G League guy and Clone has come and won it twice in a row.
Matt McClung.
Mm-hmm. And I have much respect for him. Tough little guy, man. And he puts on the show. And I told him, I said,
he works at this shit.
I said, yeah, he works. I said, you had to come with it to beat this kid. But on the other side, as a competitor that's in the NBA going to like, you should be a little embarrassed.
Right.
Because let me tell you, and it's just my mentality. Ain't nobody coming up that's a guy that's not known, out of nowhere, not even the league gonna beat me. It ain't happening.
Nah, especially if I got them boyoings.
No. I'm going upstairs to get it. And that's one thing I'm talking about. My son, my youngest son, 6'11", 17, and he does some things, man. I had to look at my brother like, holy shit. You see where he came from? I mean, he goes off the bounce, off of 1 foot, man. He goes above that square. And I saw it in the state championship, man. He was catching stuff, man. It was so effortless. Mm-hmm. And my brother looked at me and said, where did he get it from, Nick? Are you surprised? He inherited that,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So is Gerald your brother or you guys cousins?
No, brothers.
Brothers.
So he was saying, man, these guys ought to be embarrassed, man, that a G leaguer, Matt McClung, even though he's a great dunker and a fierce competitor, but you ought to be ashamed. It's the same reason why when the N1 mixtape players started to get popular and we seen some phenomenal dunks coming from N1, there was one guy who said he was doing a 720. The 360 is like a big deal. That that's 360. He did a 360. Now, even all 360s, they really was doing a 180. Right? They wasn't doing a full 360 because a full 360, if I come to the rim this way, then I must dunk it this way. That's what a 360 is. That's a complete turn. But most dudes, when they do a 360, they actually dunking it sideways, so they don't actually complete the 360, right? But this guy that was on the N1 mixtape said I'm doing a 720, and I slowed that dunk down, and that was really a 720. This dude did 2 complete turns. That would hands down. Like, why would the NBA not want that on TV during All-Star weekend? The reason why is because if the NBA allows N1 mix, they allow any league to show that they got something better than the NBA, which is supposed to be the top tier. It undermines their league, which is the reason why he don't like the Big 3 basketball and Ice Cube and all of these things. We're not going to let another basketball league in America steal some of our audience. So we can't ever let anyone see that y'all got something better than us, because we were begging as fans. Let N1 come and do some let it be a dunk contest, N1 versus the NBA. N1 versus the NBA. They would not allow it. But now they're doing it for the G League because it's their league, right? So and they can just call a player from the G League and it is what it is. But still, it's the same concept. The best players are here, but you got a G Leaguer that won the dunk contest 2 years in a row. That's telling you something wrong with your dunk contest, right? And Dominique Wilkins said these players should be embarrassed, especially the top players. And when they asked him, what would you do to make the dunk contest better? And he started thinking about it. He was like, man, maybe throw more money at him, maybe do this. And then he thought about the pride that comes in when you let a G Leaguer come in and win it 2 years in a row and ain't nobody stepping up to do it and crush him. Lets him know that we're so far gone that it ain't nothing you can do. No amount of money you can throw at it. No type of gimmick you can throw at it. None of those things. You can't do any of those things because it's not going to work. They just don't have the cojones no more. And that's what he's saying. Thanks for this super chat, Freeman. Kobe, MJ, they chase chips and not stats. That's a fact. They was going after the rings. They wanted rings. LeBron chased stats when he failed chasing chips by running into building super teams. LeBron fanatics only use stats. That's a fact. His goal was the stats. I think originally his goal was the same as what Kobe's was. I want to be as a complete player as Mike, and I want to win more than Mike. And LeBron tried to do it that way, and he realized, man, that junk is hard as all get out to do it that way. That's the hard way, right? But I've established myself as a great player. The league is mine. So, I just need to get the rings so I can get people off my back, because they keep saying that I don't have no rings. I'm not anything like Mike. If I don't have the rings, it don't mean a thing. I'm not anything like Mike. So he was like, let me just get the rings. And when I get the rings, I can paint a story to fill in the blanks, right? So it was a gap, right? So if MJ is here and we're saying MJ is the best player we ever seen, but there's a gap between him and completing that storyline, because on the other end of that is rings and you don't have any. And Bird got 3 or 4 and Magic got 5 or whatever. So how can you be the best player and you couldn't win? So that gap that he had to close to connect those two things, the winning and the fact that I'm the best player, he closed that gap with hard work, fighting, coming back year after year, losing to Milwaukee, Boston, Detroit, and he fought and closed that gap and got better, working with his trainer, getting Scottie Pippen to work with Tim Grover and his trainer, getting his guys in the weight room, getting better, and boom, he started winning, and then he won 3 in a row, took a break, came back, won 3 more in a row. Now you can connect all of that to the fact that we're saying he's the best player. Well, with LeBron, let's go to Kobe. Well, with Kobe, it was the same thing, but it was a little different. He joined the team with Shaq. He got the winning a lot earlier than Michael did, because he was a sidekick to the most dominant force in the league. So his storyline was, you are great and you look like Michael Jordan, but how do we know you're that great? Because on the other end is you winning without Shaq. So instead of him saying, I'm just going to stay with Shaq and win as many rings as I can, and then I'm going to fill in the rest later, he said, well, I'm going to separate myself from Shaq, and I'm going to work. I'm going to lose. I ain't got no co-star. I'm playing with Smush Parker and Luke Walton. I'm going to work. I'm going to lead the league in scoring. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna score 81, and then I'm gonna finally get a co-star Pau Gasol, and Phil shows back up, and then all that hard work I put in, I'm able to show y'all that I can win, and show y'all that I can win just like Mike did with a regular co-star as the team leader. He got 2 out of 3. So yeah, that closes it for Kobe. This is what LeBron did. You're great like Kobe and Mike, but you ain't got no rings. He tried 3 years and was like, oh, can't do this. And instead of him running from Shaq, like Kobe did, well, get me away from Shaq so I can prove to y'all. LeBron failed at proving it, and then he ran to D Wade and Bosh to get his rings. Then his paid media members told us how great it was. That's the difference. He closed the gap with storylines and super teams. I can't connect this narrative that I'm the best to winning without actually manipulating it in the media and manipulating by team hopping and jumping from team to team, super team, hand-picking co-stars, getting younger. Like he get his superstar co-stars had the Benjamin Button disease. They got younger. He had D Wade for a co-star. As soon as D Wade knees got bad, he jumped to Kyrie Irving. His co-star got younger. Then after Kyrie Irving, he jumped to Anthony Davis. Co-star got younger. On the other hand, Michael Jordan, his co-star was Scottie Pippen. All his championships, and Scottie Pippen got older and more tired and more hurt and more injury prone. You got a co-star that's getting older, while LeBron is just finding newer, younger co-stars with way more tread on their tires. How is that more impressive than anything that Kobe or Mike did? It's not. That's why Coach K and Dominique Wilkins is saying that Kobe was the last of a dying breed, the last of their breed. But that's all I got to say on that. I'm gonna open the phone lines up, man, because I want to hear what y'all think about this, man, and then I'm gonna get into this next topic. But the phone lines are open. Let me get to some of these comments too. Lamont Williams, you folk have to stop putting these celebrity athletes, etc., on a pedestal. They have no direction on how you're like. What the heck does that have to do with anything we're talking about? What is that? Put somebody on a pedestal because, yeah, that's crazy. Right hand Cam, what's up, brother? I ain't seen you in a while. LeBron points per game, field goal, 3-point, higher than Kobe's. So it's pretty clear LeBron is a better player. Is that how you evaluate players? By reading off their stat line and seeing whoever got the highest stat line? Because how I evaluate players is I gotta watch them play. Who taught you how to evaluate players like that, Terry? All right, let's put it this way. I'm a head coach of some college, and I hire you to be my scout, and I tell you, your job is to go down to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, do that little Southeast trip, and find me the best point guard for my program. Are you going to go and watch those games, or are you going to Google their stats? Right? And the answer to that question will tell me a little bit more about your thought process. All right, caller from Missouri, what's up?
Hey, man, why y'all always got to be talking about LeBron, man? Every time I turn around, this by the way, y'all always talking about LeBron. No, hey, what's up, man? Hey, I think what you were looking for earlier, and I could be wrong, I thought wasn't it Kenny Skywalker that did the Statue of Liberty, wasn't it?
It might have been Kenny Skywalker, but who was that guy named? I think his name was Stansberry, man. I'm about to Google him real quick.
Yes, that's a name. That's a name I do not remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was his name, Terrence Stansberry. He played for the Sonics, man. 1987 dunk contest. This dude was like that. Stansberry was absolutely like that, man. Look,
Well,
y'all.
what did Kenny do? Because I know he did something that's memorable. That's why his name is sticking out.
He probably did the Statue of Liberty too. Because I think Jordan did it as well. I'm telling you, Stansbury, man, we should know that name more. I need to go back and watch that dunk contest in full because I don't even know how he got eliminated.
Yeah,
that's just me being real.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nick is 100% right, man. Them dudes ain't got no incentive. I mean, they have no pride, first of all. So that's the first problem. Because they should be embarrassed that the dunk contest is what it is right now. And you got G Leaguers coming up. And God forbid if Silver allowed and one and some of these other cats from outside the league to come in. They should. I would do it if I bet you David Stern would probably do it too. Just embarrass them dudes and motivate them to get in it. I would do it just to embarrass them. Let them dudes come in here 1 year. They out there doing 360s and just showing out, and everybody's watching the dunk contest. Them dudes should be thoroughly embarrassed. And if I was the OGs, I'd be calling them out. All the OGs should be calling them out because it's ridiculous.
You know what they should do? Ice Cube should do his own All-Star weekend, and he should invite those street ballers and have the dunk contest, and then have the because the old legends, they can at least do the 3-point contest. So the legends that's playing in the big three, they can do the 3-point contest. I'm pretty sure Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf will win it, but they got some other shooters out there as well, right? So the 3-point contest would be lit, and then if they got N1 street ballers doing a dunk contest, whoo, Ice Cube could really take over, man, because the basketball is so bad in the NBA. Ice Cube got a real opportunity. But
yeah. And I would, and since you on that tip, if I was Ice Cube, I'd invite the Harlem Globetrotters too.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
why not? Yeah. Why not?
If you're gonna do that, yeah, just open it up, have a big tent All-Star weekend, whatever you want to call it, and just let them cats show out and just say, this is what the NBA All-Star game used to be like.
I'm with
it. Put that caption out there.
I'm with it.
But these dudes are fat cats.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing though is he'll have trouble finding a network that'll put it on TV because these networks got deals with the NBA. They're not gonna bite the hand and feed them. You know what I mean?
That's true. Now, what about CBS? What other network is not carrying the NBA?
I mean, the TNT might be mad at the NBA right now, so Ice Cube can get TNT to strike a deal.
That's what I was going to say. TNT might say, "Oh yeah, we think we might be able to pull that off."
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
But yeah, I was just going to say in closing that Dominique 100%. Those dudes ain't got no pride, man. They fat cats. They got too much money, and the whole point of getting money, man, is to take care of your family, not to lose pride and integrity in the game.
Facts.
Not to be uncompetitive. And y'all out there, the All-Star game was trash.
It was horrible.
It's trash. I mean, I can't even watch that. It's nonsense. They might as well even not put it on TV.
Yeah.
I bet you the ratings were trash. I bet people turned it on, and after 5 minutes, they probably went and watched something else.
Yeah, you can't love basketball and love what they put on that TV that day.
No, it's hot garbage, man. Those dudes ain't got no pride. Though. They all buddy. Don't and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being friends. All the players, and even in the day, were friends. Some of them were acquaintances, but when it came to lacing them up, I ain't your friend.
Yeah.
Until the game is over.
Yeah.
Until that last whistle blow, I ain't your friend.
Facts.
Even Isaiah and Magic, they was bumping heads out there. Come on, man. But anyway, we're in a different era, brother. I ain't ready to go there right now. You know how they say we old folks.
Yeah.
Always talking about the young cat.
That's what they say.
Holla at you, man.
All right, brother. All right, let's get one more call in before we get to this Angel Reese topic, man. I think y'all go enjoy the Angel Reese, man. Let's get one more call in there. Jay Watson, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the channel, man. Appreciate it. Hey, are y'all Googling Stansbury, Terrence Stansbury? I'm telling you, man, you got to watch that dude. Greg Anderson, what's up, brother?
What's going on? Yes, Stansbury was like that. He did the Statue of Liberty, held the ball in his hand, did a 360 almost from the free throw line. He was like that.
It was crazy, wasn't it? Did you remember? Did you remember that, or you just looked it up?
No, I ain't looked it up. I remember that because look, he used to he used to go against like Sean Kemp in them.
Yeah, he was cold.
And sometimes like he would miss the dunk because if you missed the dunk back in the day, it wasn't like that like it is now where they give you 18 times like Nate Robinson. He missed so many dunks, man. I made a pizza and I came back and he just completed his last dunk, man. It was still on him. I thought I missed the whole contest. Look, I remember back in the day, All-Star Weekend used to be on like Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So I used to have to make a decision whether I was gonna kick it with a young lady or I was gonna watch the All-Star festivity.
That's an easy decision these days, though, right?
Oh man, nowadays, please, man, I've been made a movie. But anyway, that's an inside joke. But anyway, these people kill me with these narratives talking about past eras, and they talking about like what if MJ played today? Well, if you think about if MJ played today, although they say he didn't play against any competition. Guess what? His teammates will be better.
Of course.
They never consider that. His teammates will be better. They would know how to stretch the floor more. And then you can't clog the lane. You can't just have a center just sitting in there and clogging up the lane. Can you imagine Michael Jordan playing with that much space? If he can do all of that with a clogged up lane, what can Mike do with an open lane? Oh my God, you're talking about 40.
And that's if we take Mike as Mike was in the 90s and just drop him here, which is impossible because if Mike was playing in this era, that means he was born in this era. So I just don't know. I don't even know how to even think how that's possible. But if we just say, all the physicality he had to deal with, kind of condition him to be able to play against that type of physicality. And if somehow he was a player in this era where they took physicality out and they took all the big men out of the paint and the paint was wide open and all that stuff, you would have to think that he would have a huge advantage. But I don't know, man. I don't even want to think about it because I think he's so much more advanced than people still studying him now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, I like Anthony Edwards. I saw him against who was that? Whoever they lost to in the playoffs. They did like a little hedge and forced them left. It was like a real simple defensive concept. It wasn't like it was a Jordan rule, like front them to the baseline and knock them out of bounds. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like just hedge them to the left just a little bit. It's like it was like Chinese. It was like he was taking a Chinese arithmetic test. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't figure it out. I'm like, and it just goes to show you he doesn't study the game. He's athletic, he's talented, but had he studied the game, he would have known like, okay, when I'm in this situation, I can do a little drop bounce pass to Carl Anthony Towns, or I can force the defense to follow me this way, and then I can throw an alley-oop to Rudy Gobert. He haven't unlocked his game because he hasn't studied the game, and it's showing in the product on the court.
He better go study Kobe and Mike.
He better go study right now.
He keeps studying KD, and KD studying Kobe and Mike.
Man. Speaking of which, I want to hear your comments off the air. What do you think about this LeBron and what is Steph Curry and LeBron love affair? Man, LeBron that got in that boy, he just spit some game to him over the Olympics in France. So we.
I'm pretty sure he tried. But Steph ain't going nowhere.
Man, he over there talking like it. He over there talking like, man, I would love to play with him. And, what do you think about that? If he does that, how does that impact either one of their legacies? And I'm off there.
All right, thanks, man. If he does it don't impact their legacy for me because I already got them in a certain place anyway. So it ain't go affect negatively or positively. In my opinion. So I mean, it's just a lateral move to me. Y'all joined up, y'all trying to get a ring. You know, it just you know, solidifies what I already knew about y'all. So it don't change anything for me.